Yeah, come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. It's up. Good, pop it, crack it, percolate, really good. This is your man, Big Theo, and welcome to another exciting episode. I ain't saying, I'm just saying the right with me nation comic book review. Yeah, see what we got going on. Yeah, Mr. Terrific, year 1, issue 2. I know, but it was some other stuff going on and everything. But I ain't gonna hold y'all. This is brought to us by Letson, Valentine, Landro, and Marissa, Louise. Yeah. Let's go ahead and crack this puppy on open. We open up our story with Michael Holt, a.k.a. Mr. Terrific, right? Tracking trace elements of Netherland radiation from the JLU, Justice League Unlimited, watchtower to a place from his past, Prescott Industries. Yeah, original sin. That's money. A past where he built the Nexus engine, his original sin, as he describes it. Aside from finding the cause of the radiation, he also finds an apocalyptic, can I say that? An apocalyptic hellhound caught in the dimensional rift. While Michael does inner reflection, the hellhound gives chase until they both fall through a hole in the floor. Yeah, that's what's going on. We then shift to the past as he goes over the events of that fateful day when Dre was deleted. Yeah. His best friend, gone. His best friend. I feel like I gotta say this because I've seen where some folks have referred to Dre as his brother. Dre would be his brother like D-Real is my brother, not his blood brother. Y'all confusing folks with that. Stop it. His best friend gone, his wife and child gone. Shortly before then, Michael contemplates ending it all, and this is when he is visited by the spectre. Yeah, we right here. We're right here. If you knew, this looks familiar to you. If you didn't know, this shit right here. Yeah, but he was about to jump off the bridge. Flash forward a little bit, and we find the true cause of the problem. In Athena Prescott dressing down General Starr, we find out that a LexCorp employee also had a hand in the break-in. Mercy Graves? Oh yeah, this origin story definitely got some oomph to it. Got a little oomph to it. That said, before she can further undress the general, she gets a little bit of a headache or a psychic call from, well, let me just say, based on the way she's acting and the words the person is using, yeah, I'm thinking this is right. Bouncing backwards to when Michael is having discourse, by and large, we know having discourse with the spectrum, right? We know the story. Michael doesn't believe in God. He's an atheist. His wife and unborn son passed in a car accident. They did. Then, damn, your best friend, Dre Dingle, who's a new character, and while I've heard, like I said, they would call that he's a new character, that's his best friend. They're like brothers. This whole part, the three amigos, him, Dre, and Jefferson. Yeah. And considering who Jefferson married to, we can't get a comic book called Tha Hardway, Black Lightning, Green Lantern, and Mr. Terrific, Tha Hardway. Come on now. We can't get three. We can't get a story. Why not? We got Brave in the bowl, right? Bruce and Clark. And then we got, before we had Oliver and Hal go cross country and everything. Why we can't get Tha Hardway? James Gunn, can I get Tha Hardway? Can I get Tha Hardway? We also learned that Michael is the one behind Mr. Terrific being called the third smartest person on earth. Why? Because his wife would be the first and second person. I like that. There's a little bit of ego to it. Like, oh, the only person smarter than me is my wife. Oh no, the rest of y'all? That's a nice little touch. From there, we find out she was the one actually working on the Nexus engine, but supposedly reached a problem she couldn't figure out. It's crazy because she's the first and second person. Being more practical as opposed to empathetic, Michael misses their prenatal appointment, and of course she pissed. This is where, man, you get, boy, look here. You got to know some men that have been through this before, so you know, hey, man, boy, you better go to that prenatal appointment. You gonna miss the doctors? Oh, no, you're not. Don't do that. Man, I got it. You ain't got to do nothing but be there at that doctor's appointment. That's what you got to be. Feeling the need to make it up to her, but not knowing how, this would see, if you had the male friend, he completes her work, which he did call her the first and second person. See, she had already figured this out. She just knew that they would take what she created, her invention, which would take ambient energy, ambient radiation, and turn it into cheap yet powerful energy. Others would take it and make it into a weapon of mass destruction. Yeah. She told Michael to take down his projections. From there, she was gone. He never got to make it right with her. Never got to see what type of husband he would have made, what father he would have made. And I'm going to tell you, as someone speaking from it, y'all know I've told y'all my mother passed away from tubular pregnancy about a month before my 14th birthday. So in that one instance, like Michael, I lost two. Michael is, when you go through that, you're lost. You don't know what to do, what to go. Nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense at all. There's no left, there's no right, there's no up, there's no down. There's no compass. You're caught up in emotions you don't know how to make sense of. And while I've never admitted it, as Michael went to a bridge, right? At the age of 13, I was living in a 5-story apartment while the paramedics were in the bedroom with my mother, her body. I was in the living room all alone by a window that was open. The thought did cross my mind. It did. I did not have a spectrum. I did not have a Jim Corrigan to stop me from doing it. All I had was my mother's voice saying that your life is more precious than anything else on the face of this earth. That was it. So I get it. And Michael is no longer living up to his expectations. His expectations stopped mattering the moment he lost his wife, an unborn son. The expectations Michael is living up to, and I'm pretty sure Michael, fictional or real, isn't the only person that's dealt with it. He's living up to his wife's expectations. And until he's satisfied, and she's satisfied, he won't stop. That's what that is. I'm not living up to my expectations. I'm living up to my mother's. And much like Michael, we just want to know we did them proud. Yeah. We just want to know we did them proud. It's her words resonating in his mind, right? And while Michael did erase the plans for the Nexus engine, he did have it backed up on a hard drive. So when he sold Holt Industries, we're not in our right frame of mind when we're going through that, i.e. mourning. He sold that as well. He says he never told Dre. He was too ashamed. Once again, I can relate to that. We all have this thing, because we're human, right? That we've done, that we're ashamed of, that we don't want to speak on. I want to say that's all right, but if you did it, you should be able to admit it. If you did it, you should be able to admit it. And after you admit it, you should be able to make amends for it. That's what adults do, or at the very least supposed to. Right? Blaming himself, one might call that him having a Superman complex. Look it up. Think you can save the world, you can. That's when Jim Corrigan tells him about Terry Sloan, whom we all know to be the OG Mr. Terrific. And while he did not show up on the mural inside the Hall of Justice in James Gunn's Superman, shame on you, James. It will be interesting to see if he plays a role in Edie Gathegi's Mr. Terrific going forward at some point. Of course, we know Michael changed his mind about the whole jumping off the bridge thing. Thank you. We move forward in time to Dre's funeral, which is also attended by one Jefferson Pierce. Yes. Him being a hero has strained their relationship. Yeah, because Michael, like, you're not here for the person on the ground. It's crazy because we was raised up on the ground. Every time somebody call you, you always out there in the space. Yeah. That tension right there cuts like a knife. That's it. Jefferson gets called. JLU emergency. And this is prior to Michael joining the JLU. He got to bounce out. Yeah, he got to peace out. Which is interesting because I would think that I'm wondering if Dre knew who Jefferson was. Because if he knew who Jefferson was, it's interesting he still chose to go to Michael. You didn't go to the hero. You went to, that's crazy. That's crazy. That said, at the funeral, though, Michael is under surveillance. General Starr couldn't make out who Michael was exactly when they took out Dre. The problem with that is there are two people that match that person's physical profile that was with Dre. It's Michael Holt and Jefferson Pierce. And General Starr, like, we got a problem. You got a problem. Because if you go after Jefferson, you finna have the JLU coming after you, and you don't want them problems. You don't want them problems. That said, Jeff wants he and Michael to talk. Like I said, remember what I said about Jefferson being a leader. Yeah, he got to bounce as Michael lets him know he'll do it himself. Kind of reminded me of Thanos. Fine, I'll do it myself. Thoughts? Mercy Graves, right there. Mercy was in on this. If Mercy was in on it, Lex was in on it. Like that ain't that. Yeah, that's how that go. And with that being that, and then what's got Mike back here, his original sin, right? So we setting up, like, I mean, that's a nice place to start your Rose Gallery. Darkseid and Lex Luthor. I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that. You out thinking Lex Luthor and you that damn smart. You out. I see why we talking about you being the third. And if you the third, your wife the first or second. Yeah, that's all right there. Listen, I'm out. I like what we got going on. Shout out to the creative team. Mr. Terrific Year 1. They're putting some stank on it. If this is your first time reading his origin story, they didn't put some new stuff in here, right? Still makes sense. If you already know his origin story, they didn't put some new stuff in here. Still makes sense, right? Right. Picking up what we putting down and everything like that. We're going to come back to y'all, if not later on today, tomorrow, with Mr. Terrific Year 1, Issue 3. I know. I'm so sorry. That said, in the meantime, in between time, hit that like button. Share the video. Let me know what your thoughts are. In memory of the late, great Don Cornelius and Chadwick Bolt. Until next time, I wish each and every last one of you love, peace, and so we out.